going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have mixed emotions. So this is a project I don't want to do. The other day, Radiator decided to fail on me. Split a tank is what it is. We need to replace that. I don't really want to replace it, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So then I started looking into it. You know, I don't think it's that bad, but this is the kind of stuff I do every day, so that is what it is. But I started looking into it, and I just found myself on Google, you know, kind of dreading the situation, asking what it entails, because I really don't see a lot of these. But everybody's saying you have to take the AC, the intercooler, basically strip the front end of the truck down just to get the radiator, to get it out, and that's the only way to do it. And that sounds miserable, and I don't see that being the case. So I'm actually kind of glad that I have to go through and do this so I can show you guys there's an easier way. Or hey, maybe there's not. I don't know. If I have the front end tore apart, you guys are going to know pretty soon. So we're going to get that out, and then I'll show you what we're putting back in, which is not a factory radiator. And it kind of goes along with adding more shiny parts to the truck, but this isn't one of the shiny parts that I really want to add to the truck. So we'll get to that, but this is where we need to get started. So first thing I see, first step I see, first thing I see needs to happen. These intercooler pipes need to come off. Your intercooler pipes do need to come off. In my case, there is, being a manual truck, there is one cooler bolted to the bottom of the radiator, and you can get to that from underneath. So I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Next thing I want to try to do, before I even think about splitting the shroud, these Dodges have a two-piece shroud. Before I even think about doing that, I want to try to take this core support off and see if I can move everything enough to slip that radiator without doing a bunch of crazy stuff. Like I said, don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna start ripping and tearing, taking things apart, and see what happens. Either we blow this thing apart or we don't. Just want to see what it does. So down here is the one cooler I was telling you about. This is the only one I got right here. If I am not mistaken, that's gonna be power steering cooler on this truck. Being a manual truck, this is the only one I have to deal with. An automatic truck, you might not get away with this because of the trainee cooler as well, but I can't contest to that. So we're gonna get this cooler out of here. So far it's looking like it's gonna come out like I thought it would, so we're gonna keep motoring on. Now this is kind of moment of truth. Everything is still on, the shroud's still on. Like I was saying before, we just took the core support off, we took the hoses off obviously. This can move forward. This has a lot of movement now. As you can see, the shroud clears, and this is just rubber anyways. We'll see if it comes out. If it doesn't come out, then we just have to take more stuff apart, but if it does, maybe it's not as bad as everybody on the internet says it is. Damn, 2 people would be nice. The bucket's not the most competent thing to be on. Yep, that's working. There we go. What are you hung up on? Oh, yeah. That's cool. Oh, that's not gonna work. That's pretty cool. Get fucked. That's a ton of fucking everything. Not gonna lie to you, that was not the most graceful thing I've ever done, but I don't feel like being too graceful today. It came out of there. Second set of hands would have been cool. So if you are gonna do it this way, get a buddy. But really not bad. Didn't have to take near as much apart as everybody makes it look like or sound like on the internet. But couple things. The intercooler was kind of being a bugger. It's got these little slip hooks right here. It grabs onto this lower core support or whatever you want to call it. It would have been cool if that was held back a little bit, which I think I'm going to find a way to hold that back when I go back together. Obviously your boost tubes have to come out of the way. Drain coolant, obviously. Hoses. I didn't have to pull a shroud off. it slipped past that. Again, not like the most graceful way, but it did. All in all, that's really not a terrible way to do it. Your automatic, you might even get away with it with an automatic, because I think that upper cooler goes here, and you could get to that and just kind of lift it and get it out of the way. But this is why we're doing it right here. See that? There's a crack from here. Crack doesn't stop till about there. It's leaking out of there real bad, which is a bummer, because the day I needed this thing to really work for me, it decided not to. So what we're gonna swap it with is this guy. And this isn't what I meant when I was talking about adding shiny parts to the truck, but I guess if the shoe fits, it's time to do it. So this is what we're dealing with. This is an all aluminum Mishimoto radiator. First impressions on the radiator, the name Mishimoto, right? This part should be a good quality part, should last a long time. So they say that the Mishimoto is bigger and more efficient. I don't know where they're getting that from. The tanks look the same. If not, these fabricated tanks can hold more coolant, but looking at the cores without a tape measure, this core just doesn't feel as big as a factory core. Factory core feels wider than this core. And me being kind of nitpicky sometimes, I'm not 100% thrilled that they didn't send a damn thing with this radiator. I mean, you're supposed to swap your bushings over. I get it. That's fine. The bolts, fine. They gave you a new cap. That's cool. It's got a cap on it. But as far as what you get with these things, I know you're buying the radiator, but for the money you pay for a radiator like this, could at least put a sticker in a box or something, but they didn't. I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed. I'm actually really excited about this, getting it in there. Would I do this radiator to see a difference? No. No, I would not do this radiator to see like a performance difference. And hopefully I'm just being super stupid critical and missing something obvious, but I don't see that on this. So I'm gonna get this back in the truck. Kind of go reverse of how we took it apart, but I need to swap the shroud and my bushings, and I think that's it. So that's pretty easy. These bushings right here, if you can see these, that's cool. That's gonna come off.
Oh, those fucking bolts aren't even the right size.
Let's try this again, because I had to go get bolts to put the shroud on this new fancy radiator. That's better. So there it is. It's all back in, it's all done, everything's tight, got coolant in it. Need to take it for a rip, make sure it's 100% good, but it's done. Now, I don't know if I'm just being overcritical. I don't know if I'm having a rough day. I don't know. I'm sure this radiator is a great radiator. I mean, with the name, they have a great reputation. I have no doubt that it's good. But the disappointing thing to me is not everybody has the opportunity to buy nice parts all the time. And when you do, you expect to pay a premium, pay the price to really get taken care of. So this one, I just didn't get that feeling. There's no paperwork in the box, there's no nothing. It's got a lifetime warranty, but I don't know if I need to register it. I don't know. No hose clamps. I had to get new bolts so I can put the shrouds and the coolers back on it because the factory bolts don't work. It just doesn't feel good, if that makes sense. But you guys let me know, please, in the comments down there, if you've installed Mishimoto stuff before, if you've done this radiator. Am I missing something, or is this normal? Because if it's normal, I'm going to tell you right now, there's other options out there. So I hate to be negative, I really do. I like making these videos. I love the aftermarket parts. They have solutions. They're great looking parts. Like it's a bummer to me. So I'm gonna let you guys go with that. I do appreciate you watching these videos, and I do want to say that I think the radiator's gonna be great. It's gonna do its job. It's not gonna leak. It seemed to actually hold more water. I've had the factory radiator drained a few times, so I felt like I put more back in this one than I did my factory radiator every time I had that drained. So maybe that's a good sign. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, please, and we'll see you on the next one.